All right. Welcome to another New York live stream. Trade with Tayyib. Today is August 22nd, and we will be looking at some of the ideas Friday, and we'll see if we can possibly find some of the ideas to trade. And it's we're up for the week. I started this account on Tuesday or Wednesday. I think Wednesday. Yeah, because it's been 2 days, two trading days, and I'm up over about 4 or 5%. So Friday, you don't. So the idea on trading on Fridays is that you don't have to force a trade on Fridays. You don't. You shouldn't force a trade overall, but on Fridays, even if you find setups that you would trade, but you're not 100% confident that probability is not the highest in your favor, then what you do is that you reduce your risk. So there's a less chance of you giving back your profits that you've earned all throughout the week. The last thing you can do, the the worst thing for your trading psychology is that you make profits daily throughout the week, and on Friday you give it up to market because you're overtrading. That's that's the worst weekend you're gonna have. So what we're going to try to do is we can find some good setups, and if we're able to identify good setups, then I'll execute trades on. If not, then I'll take 4 or 5% of the week and I'll come back on Monday. But granted, nonetheless, we'll have great ideas going through. We'll have great trading topics, and we'll try to make sure that we can pass on some good knowledge. Uh, with that being said, let me make sure the live stream is working good. Okay, I don't think. Yeah, I was on mute. I tested the download speed and upload. Download was about 600, 700. Upload was about 600. So even with that, if the stream lags, then that just means that I need to upgrade the laptop. Okay, let's do some analysis and see where is the price currently heading, right? Let's do some analysis. Start out with GJ. If we have any current drawings, let's remove those. Let's start fresh. Every day you should start fresh analysis to make sure you can look at charts with a fresh pair of eyes. You don't want to look at it from yesterday's analysis. That's just something that I like to do. Okay, let's start out with 4 hour or daily. Okay, daily yesterday we formed resistance. We started pushing up. All right. So we're forming a resistance here, and we've got a support right down here. See if I can close some things because it's it's a bit laggy. I'll resume the analysis here just in a moment. Just want to make sure. I like what I see on gold. if we can, is that a, okay, brother, come on, do, all right, now you guys can see. So I'm gonna have a sell stop. Sell stop. Okay. I'm gonna have a sell stop at the break of this current candle's high because as long as we're respecting uh above the as long as we're respecting and we're closing we're breaking below, we should continue to fill this wick. I'll have targets as well. And the stops will be above the current candle. Alright, I was doing this task manager. What's taking so much space? My system is lagging. No wonder the stream is fucked. Okay, so C Trader is taking a lot. Streamlabs is taking the most, okay. Bonjour services, what the hell is that? Discord is on in the background, so let's close that. Can I select multiple? No, I can't. 122. How can I close all of them at once? Okay, I think it's a little bit better. All right, so we have a sell stop at the break below of the current candle, and once it breaks below, it should continue to drive. The stop loss would be current candle's high, and because overall we're in the bearish trend. The 4 hour is bearish, 1 hour is bearish, 30 minutes close bearish, and now we're in the 15 minute. So if we take a look, we are just creating a higher wick right now. So 4 hour just closed, right? 4 hour just closed, and we're creating a higher wick right now. Once we create the higher wick, as long as we don't close above this candle, we should continue to push down and test these lows here. And that's the idea that I'm trading with. Okay, in the meantime, we're gonna do some analysis. 30 minute. Yeah, I don't think we should really push up from these areas. In fact, I wouldn't mind selling right here. I wouldn't mind selling right here because I've seen it happen so many times that it, a retracement. So if the price is going to continue to go bearish, it shouldn't retrace, all the way up and start going back up into these ranges. It should retrace up, but as you see, it should start to get a reaction from these previous lows and continue to drive down. So that's something that I will be expecting to see. I wouldn't be expecting for this current green candle to continue to push up and possibly even 30-minute to close in back in these ranges. If that is the case, then I'm expecting the price to continue to push up to this this wick field here is 33, 34. So the GJ analysis is that as long as, oh sorry, the gold analysis is that in order for sells to execute, what we would like to see is that to price reject the area of 32, 33.27 in order for it to continue to push down and complete these ranges on the left hand side down to 33.14. Whereas on GJ 4 hour, I think we closed bullish. Yeah, yeah, we're looking good. So GJ is looking great for it to continue to push up and reach the highs of 199,684. I'm gonna try to see if I can possibly execute a trade on GJ here. Oh yeah, this was man. If I didn't have these computer issues, I would have taken this trade right here because I personally like this setup where even 30 minutes. So what is happening here is that we tried to close above, right? We didn't really close above. We tried to break, we came down and closed in this range. The next candle created support. So the new candle should continue to push up and break out of this range. Granted, the range is not that high, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for this we're gonna wait for this 30-minute to close. As long as it's closing bullish, then the next 30-minute should continue to push up higher. That's where right now there's not much volume in the market for GJ, right? So I don't want to get stuck in a trade because especially it's a Friday. So I will say out loud what exactly what I'm looking for, and if that happens, then I will be willing to take a trade. Let's see. Let's see. Let's do a call out. Will the price reject this area? We have a sell stop. Okay, what the hell? What the hell, y'all? I think we can just do a call out instead. Sells at break of 33, 23, 28. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, so that's for GJ here. That's for gold here. I keep flipping them. Testing. GJ is coming back into the ranges. Choo, 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 choo. So I'll just type out here. Buys above 199, 5, 520. Yeah, let's just say 520. Right? GJ is coming back to ranges. So buys above 199, 520. And I think in order to have sells here, yeah, on the 30-minute we're looking at if we can break below this range. Sells below 199, 290. And if we can, what's the range? 10. Yeah, I think on 1 hour we can continue down to at least about 199, 960. And yeah, this is neat. This is neat. I like this. I like this template comparing to gold over here, or just call outs. Color, if we do, okay, that's not too bad. How are we looking on the stream? Yeah, it's not too bad. Let's see how it let's see how it goes. So 15 minutes, I think we've already closed. Yeah. If we can possibly get something, what is this? Long, oh, if we can reject this area, we should be able to continue to push down. Yeah, if we can possibly reject this area, we can continue to push down. Because we're in a downtrend. We have closed 4 hour bearish. The market sentiment overall is bearish. So now with this open of 4 hours, it's gonna create a upper wick, but once it breaks its own low, then at that time it should continue to drive down and test the lows. But as of right now, it's just creating a higher wick. It's just creating an upper wick, and as long as it sustains some of the areas while creating the upper wick, then we have nothing to worry about. This is the high. 33.31 is the high of 4 hour. I think it's this. Oh, it's this. 33.31. Yep. Why do I have this resistance here? Let's take that out. Too much going on the charts. So we'll take a look at what's in the news. 9 a.m. Fed. Ooh, hey. Let me see Ariba's if he's online. Fed. Hola, ¿cómo está? She said, konnichiwa. I said. President Donald Trump speaks at 11. I will be tuning into that. I never really listen to, I'm not the one to listen to these presidential speeches and things of that nature. Sh- It's, I don't know. I'll watch a recap or maybe I'll watch a meme that's made out of it. But uh, I'll definitely watch the you know Fed uh, Paul speaking because then we'll have a better idea where if they're doing any cuts or whatnot. I doubt they're doing any cuts. Honestly, I wouldn't lie out. I'm not exactly sure if he's gonna even talk about rate cuts or what is the agenda for today's meeting. Let's see. Let's see. Do this. Stop saying. What I'm looking for is GJ. Launch the chart. God forbid I open another tab. It's gonna start dying on me. GJ. Yeah, there's not much going on. Maybe at 9 a.m. that's where all the fireworks will be. I think gold will continue to push down. I don't know, man. I think gold could continue to push down, especially where it's at. Let's see, where is it monthly? Yeah, we're right. We're so close. Continue to push down, and we're what 100? See, 500 pips. 500 pips for gold is not that big of a deal. It's a lot, but for gold, 500 pips is not that big of a deal because gold is a volatile pair, and once once there is news impacts, there is volatility in the market, there is volume in the market, and with volume, prices could continue they could continue to move and form new highs and form new lows. If price wants to continue, if gold is going to continue to go down, then it will have to close below 32.79 in the next 7 days. And like I said, for gold, 4,000, 5,000, it's not a big deal, especially in 7 days. Yeah, even if, weekly is closing like this, we could come down and test these lows easily. Personally, I want gold to go down. I want it to go down uh, at a lower buying prices so I can buy more gold. I can buy a little bit more physical gold. Okay. Status line. volume. Symbol, that's fine. Color bars based on previous close, nah. Canvas, lower time frames on gold look very messy, so I'm gonna just stick to 30 minutes for now. Okay, gold is just pushing up. What we're gonna do is we're gonna wait for Paul to come on, and we should be able to do sell stops or buy stops. If there's volume in the market, we should be able to continue the price to move in a direction, and whichever direction it may move, we should be able to take advantage by using buy stops or sell stops. I think this will be the live example that I should be able to do of using buy stops and sell stops. Buy stop, the example of buy stop is basically if you are anticipating a price to cross a certain level. Let's say if my buy stop is at 199,500 and the price goes to 199,500, my buy stop will get triggered and buy stop is basically allowing me to get into a trade at a certain price for it to continue to go up because I'm buying. It's a buy stop. So at 199,500, that will be where I will enter the trade, anticipating for it to continue to push up. A sell stop is the opposite. A sell stop is once the price is going down, and let's say on the way down, I have a sell stop at 199,288 that if price gets to this level, it should continue to push down. So my trade will execute at 199,288, or let's just say 199,290, and that will be my selling price. That's when I will enter the trade, and that um, anticipating the price to continue to push down. So I'm gonna move this a little bit on this side, and I'll show you what I'm looking for on gold. If this happens, then well and good. If this doesn't happen, if we keep pushing up, then there's not much you can do. There's really not. At least I don't see it, right? Because there's traffic on the left-hand side, there's choppy price action. What if it goes up here and then it retraces down? What if it goes up here, retraces down? What if it crosses and goes just a little bit higher? So there's choppy price action on the left-hand side, and overall the market, is bearish. So I'm more in favor of looking for sells. So here's what I will be looking for in order for it to form resistance and continue to push down. Is Let's see. So this candle, if we can have, if possibly we can have a candle that closes bearish, and the next candle should continue down with volume. It should continue to push down these lows. That is something that I will be looking forward. That's a unique wick. It's so hard to draw on these things, but you get the idea. This is what I'll be looking forward to. So on 30 minutes, if we can possibly create resistance and the next candle breaks below the previous low, that's when I'll enter for the price to continue. Because look on the left hand side, then the price will be clean traffic. There will be clean traffic for the price to continue down. Right now, there's no clean traffic on the left-hand side for gold. So let's see if we can first reject this area. Jersey. Hold on, somebody's calling me. So as I'm clearing things out, right? I don't think we're rejecting this area. That's obviously, at this point, we're not rejecting this area at all. So I cleared that out, and also I have cells at break of the 33.23. That is why it's very important to make sure price is breaking levels that you would want it to break in order for you to continue to sell or buy. If I would have just looked at this big red candle and know that, oh, you know what, price is going down, market is going down, and I would have executed a sell at the open of this candle, it would be a horrible trade. So what I wanted to see is that it to create a higher wick, continue to respect its previous high, and then as it is pushing down and breaking its own low, that's what I wanted when I wanted to take the trade. So as of right now, we're in no trade. No trade is better than a losing trade. So I'll take that. But with that being said, I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna remove this sell stop for now because I don't want it to. With news, I don't want it to get accidentally triggered. And let's see. So we're breaking above the 4 hour highs. Yeah, this is tough. This is tough indeed. Could it be possible that we're just grabbing liquidity before the news for it to continue to push down? Gold is Gold has its own mind. It's doing its own thing. But what I do like is that we're creating clean traffic. So anytime if the price identifies an opportunity for, if price creates structure, which when I say structure, it creates some sort of resistance, or then it comes down, creates some sort of support, then you can, based off of the structure, you can buy or sell depending on where the market is gonna go. But right now it's just running. When the price is just running, you don't know when it's gonna stop and how far of the retracement is gonna be. So that's why you stay on the sideline. That's why I stay on the sideline because it's hard to predict at that time. No. I was looking at RAM. Um, RAM for laptop. I don't know what even to look for. Just RAM for laptop. I have 8 GB right now. Timo is giving it for $15. Nice. Alibaba is giving it for 5. Best Buy. Let's see Best Buy. Vengeance looks nice. 16 GB. So I think I already have 8, but 16 it should give me a little bit of, yeah, it should give me a little bit of edge. And pause. Edge. Is 32 GB RAM overkill for a laptop? For many users, 30 laptop is indeed overkill for typical everyday tasks like browsing the web using other office applications. Uh, what is 8 GB RAM with i5 processor enough for live streaming on laptop? Especially for less demanding games or applications, but it will likely result in performance limitations and is not ideal. For smoother streaming and to handle more intensive tasks, a laptop with 16 GB RAM and a newer, more powerful i7 or i9 processor is strongly recommended, alongside a decided graphic card for optimal dedicated graphic card. So it's basically telling me to buy a new laptop or a gaming because it's telling me to upgrade the processor, the RAM, and the graphic card. Okay. Okay. Let's see if we can would upgrading RAM from 8 GB to 32 GB affect the speed of my laptop. Does it matter what I click? Okay. Uh, just do. It's fine. Yeah, it's cool, bro. See, it's slow that I click it and it takes a couple of seconds to register. Yes, upgrading from AGU can significantly speed up a laptop if you're currently running out of memory. I don't know if I'm running out of memory, which causes the RAM to rely on slower storage drives. You'll notice improvements in tasks. Let's see the RAM, right? Um, my PC. My my papa has a Rolls Royce. I think it's 8:30, 8:45. 8:45. How we look? Gold still bullish. Processor, see, installed memory RAM 8 GB, 4.89 usable. How do I know how to Okay, so it can handle 32 GB RAM. So basically, we'll have either buy stop or sell stop above and below, not or. We'll have both. We'll have either a buy stop or a sell stop above and below this candle as soon as it is almost 9 a.m. How can I tell? Task manager. Control Shift Escape. Okay, task manager is open. Go to the performance tab. Let's performance tab and then click on memory. 6.3 GB is in use. Yeah, it's almost full. You will see a graph displaying current RAM usage. Yeah, we need more RAM. 'Let's see if I can get maybe 8 GB RAM. .4 hours, we're still bullish. We have respected the previous low, and we're pushing up right now. So I think GJ can really break out of this range and continue to test these highs. About 9 minutes. Let's take a look at Best Buy and see if we can have 8 GB RAM. So I'm seeing standard. It's 16 GB. How to install more RAM? Laptop. Laptop. Teddy. Teddy just followed. About 5 minutes before the candle closes, and I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for the candle to close, but right before the close, I'm gonna have a buy stop or a sell stop. So I'll keep an eye out just on the time. But in the meantime, I am going to learn how to install RAM. So check your laptop specifications. Got it. Purchase compatible RAM models modules. Okay, so it's as simple as that. So I won't be adding on to the 8. I'll just be removing the old one and adding a new one. That's why, okay, that's why the 8 GB RAM is not very common. Is it easy to you to do? Okay, let's see. Uh, my PC, right? I opened my PC properties, compatible compatible RAM modules for Intel R Core TM-i5 7200 CPU at 2.50 hertz, 2.71 gigahertz. DR4. Okay. Difference between we're doing some extensive RAM research here on live stream today. What time? We have 2 minutes. A minute and 50 seconds. Offer significantly higher clock speed and peak data transfer rate. Okay, let's just go with this one. 16 GB. Okay, we're at a minute and 30 seconds, so I'm gonna start looking at volume. First things I'm gonna do is where is okay, we have a buy stop there, and we have a sell stop here. I want to look at as what's the spread, how much the spread is increasing. Spread is not that bad right now. Let's see if we can get an impulsive move. We have 1 minute. We have 5 seconds. So far, holy, okay. I am exiting this trade. Perfect. God damn. Let's go. Let's go. That's insane. Let's take a look at today's. Let's go. $832. That's how you do it, folks. Buy stops and sell stops. $832 in 2 seconds. That is a great trade. That's how you do buy stops and sell stops. All right, that puts our account at 11,213. That's awesome. That was perfect execution. Perfect. That was indeed perfect execution. So let's go to our trading view. See, holy damn, damn. See, if we'd had sell stops here, this would have been a great trade as well. Why is crypto acting up? I don't understand. This has nothing to do with crypto. Crypto is always acting up and stuff like this. It is nice to see rejection. Beautiful, beautiful trade. That was amazing. Awesome. I want to see how long I was in the trade for. That will be this will probably be a record trade for me. This I was in the trade for maybe 15 seconds, maybe. Not US. History. 8 seconds. I was in this trade for 8 seconds only. I don't know if you can see it, how good the camera is, but that's insane. 83 pips in 8 seconds. So the idea was to have a buy stop and a sell stop on this candle, which basically means that if the price breaks below this wick, then it should continue to push down. If it breaks above, it should continue to push up. So it broke above. We had a buy right here, and I exited right over there. So good trade. Hold on. All right. So at the beginning of this week, I was talking to my friend that even if I think crypto was dropping, we were looking at Doge. I was talking to him that you know at the end of the week we should be able to close bullish. And at that time, it was dropping. I think we were at 2200 some 22 cents something. And I told him it could even break below this previous low and continue to push down. But by the end of this week, we should be able to get a flip and continue to push up. So let's see. Today is a lot of volume. Today's a lot of volume, and if we can continue to stay in this direction, because we're in uptrend overall in Doge, if we can continue to be stay in this direction, we should be able to get and possibly fill out fill this wick and continue to test these highs in the next upcoming weeks. So it all depends on this week's close. If we close bearish, if we doesn't flip, then there's a higher probability. Then we can continue to test these lows here down at 1900, 1900 I say, which is 9 cents. I'm young, black and rich. Do 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 do. Jeez, man, what the hell did Paul say? Imagine, imagine if Trump comes in and this whole move is corrected. That will be insane. So much volume in the market. Love to see it. If somebody says, "Oh, I want to enter a trade here," that's not a good idea because you have no idea how much further it's gonna run or how deep the retracement is gonna be. This candle alone was 300, yeah, 300 pips. We caught about 80, 83 pips out of it because I was in the trade for 8 seconds. Let's see. One of my buddies, he's gonna come by, change the brakes. Let me ask him how far is he? What did Paul say? Um, Paul's speech today, 40 minutes ago. Not 40 minutes. Okay. Let's see. Paul set to give his speech 21 minutes ago. That sounds about more accurate. Framework review. GJ. We're in the trenches with GJ is deep in the trenches. I will I will remove these for today because let's just remove all the drawings. This is what happens with volume and news. Technical analysis, they really don't they don't play after the news. Maybe after, a couple of candlesticks when we form some structure, but as the volatile move is happening, market doesn't give a F about what your technical analysis are. But what could how you could predict where the market could possibly stop or market could possibly retrace from are through technical analysis. So it's currently rejecting this area. Gold. Yeah, I mean overall I'm done for the day. Today was amazing. I explained exactly what I'm gonna do. I executed on that, and live I was able to take 83 pips home. Overall for the week, I think we're up over 10% for the week. How can I see in percentage? I know we're up, about 11%, 11.2%, but is there any way I can see it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. This one, it's just that one was a test. So from next week, I'll be logging in all my trades in a tracker, and that will allow me to track my monthly, weekly progress. But I don't think it's showing. It's telling me here. Okay, my buddy is here, so that's all for today. I'll see you guys on Monday. Thank you for whoever was able to join the live streams. I appreciate everything. It was a great week. So Sunday, I'll try to either do a live stream or I'll try to record a video of a weekly recap plus what is upcoming for the next week in crypto, in commodities, in forex, and what will be the key news factors to look out for, and where the price should be heading